show is live. Yay!
All right.
Everybody, welcome to the stream. Hopefully my internet stays up, because I'll be honest, fucking Cox Cable guy was working on the box like an hour ago or so, sitting there just looking at him. I was like, man, you better not fuck up my internet. You mess with my box. Don't mess it up, man, please.
That's right.
We got podcasting to do. We just made it Wednesdays. I don't want to delay the day.
Yeah, man. That'll be not good.
No commitment. But this is going to be awesome. We finally got Tim on the show. This should be good. Should be fun.
Yeah, man. Long time in the running, in the coming.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and get this show recording. Then we'll do this. Welcome to Xbox Uncut's episode 231. We are back for another week of video game news and discussions and all kinds of stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about acquisitions, maybe, possibly. I know Will is very excited to get into that.
Yes.
There's not going to be a ton of gaming news this week because, honestly, we had a show on Friday. We just moved the show over to Wednesday so we can get more people on, like the wonderful Tim Dog himself. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Happy to be here. Long time no podcast, but happy to be here.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have you on a lot. I believe we're going to have you on a lot more since it's on Wednesdays, because I know Friday was such a, especially for you, you got a tough schedule. But you know,
I'll definitely be here much more.
Yeah, and we always love to have you on the show, because you're the Tim Dog. It's great. It's awesome. So, as we said, we haven't had you on a while. What you been up to, Tim? Like, what you been playing? How's life? What's going on?
Well, I mean, the last time I was even before E3, so talking about a lot of time, So I mean, right now I'm still playing Forza 7. I'm trying to get to the Forza Cup. I'm very close to that. I just played Battlefield 1, which was fantastic. They really did a good update. I've just been playing Xbox, the usual games, waiting for Forza Horizon 4.
Oh, me too.
The update I tried to play yesterday, but I had problems getting into the server. But then when I did get into the server, I had nobody to play with on Sea of Thieves. But yeah, it's been a good couple of months. E3 was amazing. I'm sure we're going to talk about some of the stuff today, about the acquisitions and stuff like that. But yeah, it was great, and from when I probably was on before, it's a big difference. You know what I mean? Like now, you look at Xbox compared to when I was on. It was probably two and a half months ago. A lot has changed, and a lot has changed for the good. So, just ready to catch up and talk about all the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the direction of Microsoft has, I wouldn't say drastically changed, but they've finally shown their cards. Like, it's one of those, like, they've kept talking about how this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it. It's coming. We can't announce anything yet, but we believe in games, people. We promise you. And then E3 hits, and it's like, yeah, we just bought, a couple studios. We're fucking announcing new studios. It's crazy. I mean, it's all kinds of new games. Don't get me wrong, I think we all agree that they're positioning themselves to have a super strong lineup for the next generation of consoles. Because most of these studios are either they're coming out with games now, or they just came out with a game like a couple months ago. So everybody's kind of back into the development grind, if you will. Personally, like we're very close to actually releasing We Happy Few on, and they've redone the game, and I'm honestly completely excited again for that game. After the E3 trailer, after the discussions of how they've like, I have the game preview version, and I'm not a big fan, but if it's anything like the Bioshocky thing that they've like that's been talked about, I'm completely in, and I want to experience it. Is there anything that's like kind of standard? I mean, like you said, you haven't been on since before E3, so like,
just I think they're really, they're really going. They showed their cards, and I think they're really gearing up, and I don't think they're done. I think they're going to keep going, pushing what they're pushing. You know what I mean? They're still doing what they're doing.
Yeah, the tough part is basically just waiting, really.
Pretty much.
Mm.
But other than that, I mean, they're doing real good. They're got their act together after a pretty tough 2 years. I think even though they did well, but the 2 years for them was pretty tough with the
yeah,
no
pretty
games
brutal.
and stuff like that. Yeah, but I think those days are over.
I mean, I think we're gonna have a decent lineup next year. I mean, next year's packed, honestly, with games. But like for exclusives, we're gonna have a decent lineup. But I think most people in their heads have this, even with Sony, this mystical idea of like 15 exclusives in a year, and they're all fucking triple. Like, there's this like kind of bullshit idea in most people's heads on how many exclusive a console needs to have in a year, and they push it up to this ginormous standard that nobody can keep up with. Because if you look at even like Nintendo, which sells its consoles purely on exclusives, they're not racking they're racking like 4 or 5 a year, and that's it. Like that's the top, the most. But people, even if Microsoft had all of its studios releasing a game this year, I mean, it's only like 8 games, and then we wouldn't have anything for a couple of years. But I'm really excited for what, not Turn 10, what's Playground Games is what they're doing. Like, I want to see that, quote unquote Fable game is doing. I like, that's what gets me pumped. And I know people are just, I can already hear people going, "Oh, it's just another Fable. It's just another one of these." And it's like, whatever. Like, it's like people fucking love these games. Like, it's not like it's just another God of War. It's just another, like, if they announced fucking Horizon 2, people would go apeshit. They'd be excited for it. Like, nobody would sit there and fucking downplay it. Like, it's it's part of their franchise, and it's gonna be, they're gonna do it. And I'm just, I'm ready for Halo Infinite. Like, I fucking played I just got, they opened up I guess we didn't discuss this, but they opened up the Master Chief Collection, so anybody can be part of the Insider program. And Jesus Christ, does that game look good in 4K? Like, so oh my God, yeah, dude, like, it's there's just
anybody's available. Anybody can use it. Is that true?
Yeah, you go into the Insider app, and you can just put your name in that. No, I'm not even going to say the hat. You put it in pending, and then they approve you, and then you download it all through the Insider program. Like, wow. It is fantastic, and it's just a ton of fun. I mean, it's fucking. It's hard to describe, because Halo specifically isn't a texture-rich game. It's more about the geometry that made the Forerunner stuff look cool. So because it was mainly geometry-based, everything scales up to 4K, and it just looks super sharp. You're not just like going, "Oh, the textures are kind of blurry. I mean, I guess it looks fine in 4K." Like, it's just like, wow, that giant fucking machine with all that geometry looks fucking amazing. This looks amazing. I'm so excited. Like, just even playing Halo 1 in 4K at 60 frames per second is mind-boggling. It's a game I never expected to experience like that. Like, it just it redoes the game in so many ways. What else is there? So we got the Battlefield 1 patch. Oh, that looks fucking epic to me. Like, I played that, and I only played the tank level. I'll be honest, I have not been able to play multiplayer yet, because honestly, I went to bed at like 9 o'clock the other night and just fell asleep and had to do work. So it's work life. You just
that's how it always
can't
goes.
be all video games, man. I want it to be. It'd be amazing, but it's you got life is there, and I've been prepping for to play Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm getting ready to be the best dungeon master of all time. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna do it. I already
You're
got
not
a group
talking about
together.
you're not talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
Not Dungeons and Dragons, sir. Dungeons and
Oh,
Dragons.
come on.
I got to buy some figurines for the enemies. It's the only thing I have left to buy for my
Okay, all right.
group. I already bought a. No, I didn't buy a beard. I should. I should. I figured I was
Buy a
going to make
beard?
everybody. We're going to be the most politically incorrect game of all time of Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be great. I don't know if we're going to stream it or anything like that. I don't think I'm that close. I don't think my friends want to do it. But I like the dungeon master will always talk to like either Donald Trump or Nancy Pelosi, any of them. I just want to make it sound funny and have a good time doing it. Like, this is the best dragon, just hugest dragon of all time. It's gonna be beautiful. What happened to dragon? There was a wall built, beautiful wall. It's gonna be fun. But
Sounds very interesting.
yes. What have you been
So
up to?
what kind of topics? Well, playing a lot of games, man, like and getting nothing done because when you play a lot of games, nothing gets done. You just kind of sample everything. But yeah, like you, I've been playing the Mega Man X collection.
Yes.
It's a great little collection of 2 games. I got the 2-pack, whatever that it was. What else am I playing? Let's see here. I tried the Battlefield 1 X enhancement. Looks pretty good. It's not mind blowing, but it does look like considerably better than it was before. And thankfully, it's here already. It's been a while, so.
Well, do you snipe in Battlefield?
Oh, if I snipe in Battlefield?
Do you snipe? Is that your class? Because if you were a sniper, you would understand the benefits of 4K as you look across a map and piss me off nonstop.
I don't really snipe. I just kind of either the support or just kind of the regular soldier. But you're kind of botting a little bit though, Dustin.
Yeah, you are. See if you're botting now.
Yeah, you scared me a little bit there.
Check my stuff. Everything says it's good, but
you're botting to me.
Yeah, it sounds very, very unnerving.
Well, the recording will be fine. We'll see how this works out. Hopefully, I'll fix it'll fix itself.
Okay, all right. Well, besides that, yeah, I've been playing Battlefield. Actually tried out the. I don't know if you're gonna cover this in the news order, but the Splinter Cell, what we call Back and Pat games, which is Splinter Cell Blacklist and Splinter Cell Double Agents, which is an awesome game. So that's a good 2-pack there for stealth fanatics. And also Blacklist, just to note, came out digital, I believe, today. So that's another one if you want to grab it digital, if you don't have a disc. Also, I tried to play a little Sea of Thieves before the update, but I was kind of bored. So I was like, you know what, let me just wait for the update, and then I'll try it again and hopefully play with you guys. Because the 3-man sloop is pretty cool. I want to try that out. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the big stuff I've been kind of looking into.
So I did play some Sea of Thieves. I really like the new boat. It's kind of the perfect, like, little mid-range vessel. Like, it's not. I know it sounds stupid. It's not too big. It's not too small. Like, I think 2 people can handle it by themselves without really any issue. I was sailing it by myself without having much of an issue, and it was really just. It felt right. It just felt like what I wanted to do, and not like, fuck, now I gotta find a 4th person. Like, because when you're in a sloop, you just feel like you can't get enough done, especially since you only have one fucking turret on each side, well, one cannon on each side. You always, you're kind of, everything's kind of nice and small and neat, but you feel like you're underpowered all the time. Like, you can't really get anywhere fast. You can't really do anything. But having the damn fucking just something that's a little bit bigger, it doesn't have as many sails. It just it just feels great.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I kind of just want to see also how it's structured. It looked like is that the crow's nest and like is it in the front or something or in the back? I'm not sure.
It's in the back, but I believe where it's they changed the spot of it, so I think it's towards the back. It's not towards the front because it was blocking the view.
That
I
makes
don't
sense.
know if it's out. I don't. I think it might be on where you control the ship, but I'm not sure. I played. I had the new ship for a little. I played. Well, that was when I didn't have any players, but
Mhm.
the new boat's cool though. It definitely is.
Yeah, it seems to set up a nice 3-man group for like kind of a Destiny style like 3-man group. I feel like 3 is like a really good number. Like 4 is fine with the galleons, but like I always feel like a third wheel when I'm on that because like everybody's doing the work and I'm like kind of just like lounging around. So
Hi guys, I'm gonna disconnect from the channel. So everybody in the stream with me is gonna be with me, but I'm gonna disconnect from the
Yeah.
channel. Hopefully, when I come back, I won't be botting on y'all. So this is gonna be very interesting as I talk to myself, and then join back in the channel.
are we still on?
Hopefully, we are still good, and I'm not botting. Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, still botting unfortunately.
That's weird. I mean, I could drop all of Discord real quick and see if that fixes it. One moment. And I'm sorry about this, guys. I just don't want to harass our fellow podcasters, our host, with me being annoying for, a period of time. So I'm going to just go ahead, quit Discord, relaunch it on my PC. See, this is the one nice thing about doing this over Skype is I can just completely leave the room and not have these same issues. But we'll go right back in here.
What's up, Tim?
And look at this. I am back into the room. Am I still botting?
Bro, you biting badly.
Uh-oh.
Look at something.
See, y'all aren't botting for me at all, but I'm botting.
Say Transformers roll out.
Transformers roll out.
Yeah, you fucking biting bad, bro. I don't know what it is. Sounds like
Like sound wave.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it sounds like shortage. Maybe,
It's weird.
possibly.
Because it's going good on my side. It's just your side.
Oh, okay.
Is it good on the stream? Do we know if people hear it on stream like that?
I'll check it. I'll check the stream, and if the stream.
Yeah, no, they're telling me I sound modulated on the stream too.
Oh, okay. Well,
According
then
to Tom's
fine.
folder. Give me 1 second. I'll
Sound good?
change this up, and let me see if I can fix this. We're gonna take a quick recess, I guess, and we'll be right back on the stream, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and more than likely when I unplug my microphone, it's gonna really mess everything up. So I'm gonna try to leave everything how it is, and then see what happens when I bring it back all together.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Are we still live though?
So far, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you already talked about what you've been playing then?
Yeah, we'll do you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'll just wait for him to come back then.
No, I mean, unless you want to keep on, keep the
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go
keep the
ahead.
thing going. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing Far Cry 5 still. Oh my god! Then that game looks so good. I know I talked about it last week a bit, man. But Jesus,
Yeah.
game looks good. It looks amazing. My kids were like watching me play, and they just couldn't believe how good it looked. It was great. They were making fun of me because I was like missing shots and shit. Made me feel bad, but yeah, that's pretty much all I really been playing. I haven't really played PUBG really at all.
Really?
Sadly,
because they have an update on the
Yeah.
Xbox.
I had they update the Xbox version too.
Yeah. Well, PC, I know got the dynamic weather again, and then they had the
Yeah. Well,
the shots.
it didn't actually have dynamic weather before. It had like when you loaded the map, it was either uh, foggy or rainy. But the only thing that had dynamic was like the sunlight was dynamic, which was horrible. I fucking hated that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The colors were all like washed looking, but
Yeah, probably
they made it the new map was the only one that was dynamic weather, which is weird how they did that. I don't understand that, but they added it to the other maps now. But yeah, they added a new gun I got to use on this last podcast. It's like basically like the it's a 5.56 sniper with a bipod. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. It's almost like that like the Halo sniper, almost like it's old heavy duty and stuff.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. I mean, of course, the Halo sniper is fucking god tier. There's no crazy recoil, and they don't shoot rapid fire. But the look of it, yeah, I can see why you would say that. I guess, but
Yeah, that's cool.
I got to use that, and there's a new car they added to the game too. It's a pickup truck. It's pretty cool. They added that, and I feel like that I'm missing something they added.
Yeah, it looks like the updates are kind of coming along quite nicely. I mean, it's not like what do you call it? It's not like Fortnite updates, but
Nah, that's not. I mean, that game's just on another level. With the way, like, I mean, they got shit crashing out the sky and Thanos in the game and rocket ships and just on another level, man. They ain't never gonna touch that game.
yeah, but a little different now. So it's getting a little bit better, little by little.
Yeah, it is, but I feel like I mean, they're pretty consistent, but I feel like whenever your competition is doing like such a better job, it kind of makes you look like you ain't even trying. And I know they are. I mean, I see the progress on both sides, but I mean, it's just
Yeah.
kind of hard. It's kind of hard to compare, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
All right, do I sound any better?
you sound perfect now. Thank
Sound
God.
great.
I unplugged my mouse, but that was by accident. But thank you for everybody for dealing with my robot voice.
It's kind of cool for a while, you know.
Nah. I was only here for about 4 seconds, and it was fucking with me.
It is a little off-putting, a little disturbing, but I thought it was a little cool here and there.
All right, well, I went over what I've been playing, Dustin. If everybody else has already done that, we can just roll on to the news.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want me to run down the topics?
Yeah, go ahead and hit some topics up.
All right, so we'll hit these out real quick. Game Pass games this week was announced today. You got Rise, Sun and Rome. You got Hitman, which is a great Game Pass edition because that's a kind of almost like a games as a service-y type of game. Got Ruiner, Dead Rising 2, The Escapist, The Walking Dead, Disney Rush, Dondara, which is a indie game, I believe by a Brazilian team. It's a pretty cool, like kind of a platformer style thing, but it's very unique. And I think that's pretty much it for that. I mean, there might be a few more games, but that's kind of the main ones that are out there. So, what do you guys think about these games?
Good. I mean, they just keep adding to it, so it's good.
Yeah, we all know that Rise is the GOAT. So,
of this list, yes. I can smell the fucking. Does that mean that we're gonna get a Rise 2 videos? I can smell that shit right now. People making them. They're talking about how that is coming now. We're gonna get announcement at Gamescom. It's coming. I can see it.
yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but Ruiner is supposed to be pretty good, so I want to try that game out. I watched a review on it a while back, and I wanted to buy it, but I was like, I really don't want to fucking pay $20 for this game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that game out.
Yeah, Ruin is good, man. I think you'll like it. It's a top-down, like kind of cyberpunk shooter. It's pretty good. I mean, out of this list, I have most of these except for maybe the Dead Rising, because I have that on PC, but I don't have the new one. And Hitman, just kind of for some reason just never wanted to buy it because they did have a little. Yeah, what happened?
Hitman is that the new Hitman? The newest one?
It's season 1. It's just the first one.
Remember
how it's episodic? It's the season.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a problem with this one because the PlayStation did get an exclusive mission somewhere down the line, so I was like, don't want to support this. But since it's free, sorry, this is free. Damn it!
Since it's part of Game Pass, it's it's a really good value.
Yeah,
I mean,
thanks for finishing, Dustin.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's Game Pass. I think it's gonna be really interesting in the next couple months because it was funny to watch, and I don't know how the feel was at E3. Maybe you could tell us, Tim, but it was funny to watch a lot of people react by going, "Oh my God! Like Forza Horizon is going to be part of Game Pass," even though they've kind of said, all future Microsoft games are going to be Game Pass. Like people were actually realizing Game Pass is here to stay, and like fucking like first parties are coming to it day and date, and not just first parties. We have other games coming to it day and date. What is not coming to this podcast, on time or day and date is Eric, but he is now here out of nowhere.
That's a great transition.
I'm here. Howdy.
What's up, Eric?
How's everyone?
Good.
Doing well, Eric.
Oh, Take the L's here. Tim Dog, what's up? Oh, snap.
Yeah.
You got him in here. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now it changes everything.
Well, I think the
Changes.
only reason Eric was able to make it is because Splinter Cell's on Black and Pat, right? Eric?
What? Oh, snap. Okay. That's pretty. I didn't know that. It made it there now. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like the
Blackness.
Splinter Cell guy, though.
What did they do? What did they do with the update of it? Did they improve it very well, or?
No, it's just a straight backwards compatibility. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping they do these enhanced games again. I know that they are doing them, but I'm just waiting. I guess they're gonna drop another 15 or 20 when they did last time.
Yeah, it's been
Listen,
quite
they
a while.
have no excuse. Look what damn Rockstar did with Red Dead. Come on.
Ah,
Yeah.
Rockstar made the game. PC dudes like, yo. Like, what's going on?
that one looks crazy in 4K. It was
Yeah.
but some games translate well in 4K and other games don't. That game was like, whoa,
Yeah, it was like, whoa. Yeah, you
I
gotta,
know.
you gotta get that.
what's up with this?
Yeah.
I said it's usually a geometry thing. If you have geometry intensive games are just going to look well upscaled. I mean, you're never going to get better texture resolution, but fucking it's crazy how something like Halo or Red Dead, something like that just fucking blows your mind on like in 4K. So what else is going on in the news? My good sir,
Well,
Will.
So, Eric, did you see the Game Pass news?
See,
For this month?
I'm out of the loop. I'm out
All
of
right, so let me just read you off real quick the games for this month. You got Rise, Hitman, Ruiner.
Snap, they got Rise in there. Damn.
Yeah, the GOAT.
It's but honestly, it's a very underrated game. People hate it on
Yeah.
that shit. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
Never get a sequel.
I know.
I
But,
checked out there, kicking their heels after VR failed them. They're like, well, get back in this gaming with the hunt. They need to make
Yeah.
a Rise 2. They need to do.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with
I
Crytek.
told you. I told you.
Look, this is the thing. Rise 2 isn't too crazy of an idea, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, yeah, just to finish out, The Escapist, Walking Dead, Rush, Disney Rush, and Dandara, which is an indie game. So, out of those, Eric, which one you'll be playing the most?
My gosh, I just go revisit Rise. That's
You're gonna be playing Disney Rush, boy. Quit lying.
Get the hell out. No.
Hey, I thought you said you were going to co-op Disney Rush with me, Eric.
I don't remember that. I might have been drunk. I was on Henny like Steph that other episode.
Oh, stop it.
Talking about anime or whatever.
Yo, calm down. Hey, I just want to say, since the last podcast, I watched all 52 episodes of My Hero.
Oh, whoa! I'm not even that. See, I'm
I watched
behind.
it
I'm
all,
only on-
baby, since the last podcast.
Damn, you see,
Oh,
I
that
need to
was-
stay away from everybody.
I watched it all.
You watched all the English dub?
I watched the whole fucking thing.
Jeez,
Wow.
now you know how awesome it is because you
Oh,
didn't
no.
even watch
I'm just saying, did you watch the English dub or the subtitle? Like, I know you...
I watched the whole English dub.
Wow.
No, it's-
United States is smash.
I just want to say, the voice
United
acting's good in it,
States,
ain't
man.
it?
You know what?
The voice acting's pretty decent in it for...
The voice acting is great. What
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah. I'm just saying,
that
it's really good.
Japanese ching, ching, nah, nah,
Oh,
you
man.
know what? To be honest with you,
Walk that
Whoa,
back.
that-
Walk
that
it back.
little bit,
I was just playing, man. Calm
Edit
don't
that out.
know.
Calm down.
Edit that out.
Calm down.
I'm
might
editing
have
it
to
down.
eject Steph.
Calm down.
Outta here.
I like the Japanese versions sometimes. Like One Piece, the Japanese version is pretty good. But if I listen to it and I hear it first in English, then I can watch the Japanese because I just imagine the English voice in my head, which is kind of weird how that works out. But yeah, the voice acting is great. It's got the guy who does Vegeta, Zoro from One Piece,
Yeah.
and who else? He does someone else. He plays one of the main characters, so it's pretty good, man.
Well, I want to tell you, Steph, that after our discussion, I've started watching One Piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
And I'm to the point where he's fighting the pirate dudes, and they're stealing the map. I'm like 9 episodes in, so at the very beginning of this thing.
They added Hitman Season 1. Did you say that, Will?
Yes.
Hitman Season 1.
Sorry, I missed that. Wow, that's a
I'm
big
sorry.
deal.
Eric's trying to get back
That-
on point. We're sitting
I'm
here talking about
sorry.
anime.
Forget Rise. Sorry, I'm sorry. I got Rise. Right,
No,
on
no,
next one.
finish it, guys.
But Hitman Season
Yeah.
1, the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole season.
Dang. Okay, I'm gonna have to check. Start downloading that and.
And they also added Ruiner
Wow.
in there. That's a pretty good game, I heard.
Yeah,
Ruin,
bro,
yeah.
it's alright. It's alright. But Hitman Season 1.
It's just alright.
Yeah, it's just alright. It's just alright. But
Well,
Hitman,
yeah.
that's the star of the show here now. Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
it's awesome that they're they're putting in games as a service games. So you got The Division, Hitman, Elder Scrolls. What was the other one? I think there's like another one that's like kind of games as a service. For Honor, that's for Games of Gold, but that's another games as a service game that works absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Now,
I was
now
gonna
I can
add-
have players play with me. I ain't got no excuses for you chumps who ain't got the game. A sucker like me who bought it at the beginning when they didn't
I
have dedicated
played at the
servers.
beginning and stopped for a while.
Oh, did you play at the beginning?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Which
I
fun?
hopped back
Fun
on
game.
there about
It's a
2
fun
weeks ago,
game.
man.
There's no denial of that.
It's fun, but man, the skill, the learning curve for
Yeah,
that
you
game
can
is
get
really
destroyed
hard.
by
And if
one,
you,
one guy can kill 3
Yes.
people. Like it's
Yes.
ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, just make sure
But
you
I
guys
will-
talk
you
about
got them
always-
samurai in
Will
there,
said
man. They
something.
come in there with
Okay.
them 2 swords, man. They chop your ass down.
That's
man.
true. I don't know how that's possible. One
Walking
guy-
around looking like a damn medieval knight and shit, and this dude got 3 blades. He walk, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and he
it's,
just knocks you
it's-
off. He could. Those are skilled players. What was you saying, Will?
No, just make sure you guys talk about For Honor, just so people wouldn't, just to keep
Oh yeah, For Honor.
catch that,
Yeah,
But
y'all
I will
kinda
say though
talk over
about
each other.
Hitman, somebody said something hilarious. I gotta say on N4G, I have to just talk about. It's not about Hitman, but it's about Microsoft's Game Pass. Some guy went, Microsoft needs to add more Game Pass games to the PC side of Game Pass, and then he had like a ton of disagrees. And some dude came to him and said, "You guys already don't have to pay for Xbox Live. Let the console owners have at least a little perk." That's hilarious to me because I got what he was saying there because everybody keeps saying like Microsoft need to like bring it to the PC. Before it was like nobody cared if you remember about Xbox
Yeah,
Live would make
yeah.
jokes. Now it's like, look, that Game Pass is looking pretty good. Like we want that on the PC. You know.
Well, you can subscribe to Game Pass from PC, and there's a lot of stuff that's on Game Pass that's on PC. But
Yeah, but they're seeing
but the
these,
way
these
it work-
console games. They're like,
yeah, but the way it works is that if fucking Hitman is not on the Windows Store, then you're
Yeah.
not gonna get it in Game Pass, and that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that's
You
just
play
the way it
anywhere.
is. They can't
so you
fucking,
play
they're not gonna
anywhere.
give you Steam games through fucking Game Pass.
yeah, that's what that I heard someone say something crazy like that. They should work out a deal. Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Oh my god! it's-
Honestly, Steam would never do a deal with Microsoft to do
well,
Game
the
Pass.
Steam Pass is coming soon.
Steam,
calm
no, but yeah, Steam Pass. Like, there's no reason Steam wouldn't do it, and it just make them a fucking fortune at a monthly fee. I mean, they're already selling you like $5 games like every other fucking day.
down. Yeah.
It's not gonna be hard for them to convince you to pay $10 a month and get like because they're not gonna say 100 games. Steam is gonna be like, look, you have access to thousands of games on Steam Pass, and they're all gonna be really piece of shit games, but they're just gonna throw you their full library.
Yeah,
at
I
you.
don't think you'll see. I mean, not like how Microsoft's been like gaining. I don't know. I mean, I
And don't
could be
get me wrong.
Don't quote me,
Not
but
everything on Game Pass is a perfect AAA game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Game
But it
Pass
has
is
a
by
lot of-
far a better value than if I'd imagine any Steam Pass would be. Because Steam
Yeah.
Pass would be like, man, here's fucking some random ass indie game that nobody fucking
Yeah.
gives 2 fucks
that
about.
is- it
Here
would
it
be
is.
Like that, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
It's going to be the humble bundle pass.
Oh,
like, of game.
that's
Yeah.
a low blow, but that's true. Damn, true.
Just,
All right, so
oh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
no.
Tim. How did people at E3 feel about Game Pass? I know we were alluding to that, or I was alluding to that earlier.
Everyone seems to really like it. I mean, it's a big success. People at E3 were they had that little I would say when Ashley Specter, I think she came out, they talked about Fast Start and
Mhm.
GameStop and
Mhm.
Game Pass. That was probably one of the most boring parts of the E3, at least on the floor. But yeah, no, everyone, people are happy with it, and people, like you said, it's. I think there was a time where people thought that there was suggestions that they were, Xbox was using Game Pass to release low tier games, but that's obviously not the truth. Especially when you get like games like Forza Horizon 4, that's day one. You're going to see Game Pass sales go way up, and you're also going to see the player counts on games like that and Halo and stuff like that go out the window. I mean, um,
Oh yeah, look at Sea of Thieves.
for
I think
whatever reason,
yeah.
it makes some of the games sell better. Like, Rocket League went into it, and it shot up to number one on the purchase list. So on Xbox Live digital.
Yeah.
So it's a home run. I'm surprised at how well it's doing. I figured it would take time, but it seems like it's rolling, and I really see it rolling when the big heavy hitters come. Like that's going to be pretty crazy when you get Halo Infinite, or you can get Gears 5 on Game Pass day one. I mean, that's crazy.
No, but
Yeah.
how I look at it, if you look at Sea of Thieves is over 5 million players right now. If that game was not on Game Pass, I don't think it would be anywhere near that. I honestly don't. I think this is
I agree.
like you look at it, you look at the hit pieces that came out for, and rightfully so. Sea of Thieves launched pretty fucking bare bones, and no pun intended, and like. It has 5 fucking billion players playing it right now. Like, people are, like, jumping into this game nonstop because of the new patch. People are excited to play it. And I have to say, I'm pretty sure it's because for fucking $10, you can just sit there and play it in a bunch of other games, and it's just there. So why wouldn't you play it? Like, this is the next big update. Like, they turned, like, almost all their library into just, hey, just wait. We're upgrading it, and it's going to be great. And the fact that even Turn 10, they're still just working on Forza 7. So it looks like Forza 8 is probably going to be 2020 and not 2019. So we won't have a Forza game next year, more than likely. Like, it's just going to be...
that's good. They're going to take a break.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're not going to be a Forza game? There's not going to be a Turn 10 game? Are you kidding me?
No,
they're not working on the next one, supposedly. That's what they said. They said they're completely...
They're not working? What are they working on?
Oh,
Content for Forza 7 is what they said.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
that's...
they're taking a year. They're basically extending the cycle. They're going to launch with the new Xbox.
So now Forza... Oh, I get what you're saying. The Forza... Well, the new Xbox went in 2020, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there's another team.
Forza, anybody, if you haven't played Forza 7, I suggest you put it in.
Yeah.
First off, you get a ton of cars right off the bat. It's pretty crazy how many cars they've given you for free. Secondly, the game is fantastic. I mean, it always looked good, but even now, more than ever, I think that they just keep adding. It looks phenomenal.
But they're getting rid of the loot boxes in Forza 7. I know we talked about it. But the thing is you've never been able to use actual money to buy them, and they could only be bought with in-game currency. And now they're getting rid of them. And Gran Turismo Sport is getting loot boxes that you pay real money for. And now all we hear are excuses like, well, you can turn the setting off in the menu so you don't have to see them. It's like,
you got to give them props, though. You got to give GT Sport props.
For what?
Because they basically were like, we got a new update, guys. It's awesome. Look, come check out the new update.
Microtransaction, pay us, motherfuckers.
Microtransactions, like...
We promised you that there'd be no microtransactions, but we heard what you wanted, and we're bringing microtransactions.
Exactly. That's basically what happened. You got to give them props for that. That was pretty smooth. I got to give Sony props. That was...
Yeah, it's basically like an E3 move, like where Jack Tretton's like, oh, we're not, what was the thing? It was like, it was like
guys
cover up in place for what the fuck was it for DRM, but we don't have DRM.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Jack Tretton is the goat.
But then they showed the price for like PSN. No, they said that PSN is getting charged now.
Yeah, nobody realized that was awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of a similar tactic to that. So.
That was awesome. Sorry, I know. It seems like I'm
every fucking thing they do basically. Well, there you go.
But yeah, so that's interesting. Just real quick, what Game Pass games do you guys think would be good on the service? Like personally, I think like Vampire would be like an awesome Game Pass game.
Is it because you want to play it, or because you?
Well, a little bit of both.
you
wanna
know, you
play
don't
it, I
want to
kinda
buy
wanna
that
get it.
shit. It's because you
You
want to
know,
play it because you don't
well,
want to buy that shit.
wait for that nice patch, for the story.
That game, I'm gonna be honest, man. That game looks pretty rough, man. That shit reminds me of Thief.
Well, that's why it's a good Game Pass game.
We got Thief for free, and I still didn't play that shit. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, well, that game and what's the other game? Moonlighters look pretty cool too. So I think those two would be good like Game Pass candidates.
Right.
I mean, man, if you mean for consumers, I think Minecraft would be a good Game Pass game.
Oh yeah,
Just so kids,
That's not
you
in
know.
there already.
No, it's not. We still gotta buy that
That's
separate.
They're
surprising.
selling too many copies of it. Man.
No, I know. That's why I said for consumers. For Microsoft, it probably wouldn't be a good Game Pass game. They'd lose out on a little money right there. That cash cow known as Minecraft. I don't know what would be a good Game Pass game. I think No Man's Sky would be a good Game Pass game.
Ah,
'cause
yes.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, is that thing expensive on Xbox? Like $20 on PlayStation, $50 on Xbox. Hey, what's the difference? Nothing.
Wow.
You can
That's
find the
ridiculous.
game on PlayStation for like $10.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's just ridiculous. Redunculous.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Redunculous. I mean, I bought it. I won't lie. I'm excited, and I really like the game, but well, it would have been a perfect, like, hey, it's on Game Pass, guys. Like, we know y'all are 2 years fucking behind. It's $10 over there. Like, Game Pass. Enjoy. And then they could have been like, hey, we have 18 million fucking players of No Man's Sky, and they would have been all right.
Yeah, definitely. What
Right.
do you think, Steph? What would be
I
good
think
Game
they
Pass?
just honestly, I don't have a particular game, but I think it needs to be a AAA game that comes out like, say, for instance, like Tomb Raider. I'm not saying it needs to be their day and date, but if they get it in like December or something like that, I think that would be pretty big. If they get a AAA game, like 2 or 3 months after its release, like a brand new one, something like that. They need something like that. Not, I mean, particularly, I buy everything when it comes out that I want, but for some other people, I think that would be a big draw if they grab something, maybe not day and date, but within recent of its launch. I think that'd be dope.
That's not bad. What do you think, Tim? What's like your Game Pass, like typical Game Pass game?
That should go there. Well, I think that I think they said they're not going to do it, but I would bring Forza Horizon 3 and Forza 7 into
Yeah.
it. Just to
Wait.
figure.
They said they're not going to do it.
Yeah, I heard they're not going to do it for whatever reason. They're not going to bring those games, but I would like to have them. Anything like I would just keep on that first party. On that beat that drum of first party. That's what I would do, but I don't think it's going to happen because I heard that. So other than that, I think No Man's Sky is the perfect game to bring into that mix.
How about Unrush? That's a game that kind of seems like
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah, trade that for Disney Rush. That dog.
Yeah, I'm down with stuff with that. Yeah, trade it.
Nah,
I would.
You know,
you-
and maybe a big third party too. Like I've never had Fallout, but like
Mhm.
maybe like Destiny too. Like
Ooh, okay, there you go.
have like a big a meetup with a big third party and try it out. I think third parties shouldn't be resistant to it when you look at rocket cars sales, the sales on that. A game you can bring a third party game, you put it in there, you might get some sales just for people that kind of casual and like, what is this game?
Absolutely.
So what do y'all think about it doesn't have to specifically be this game, but The Wolf Among Us Season 2, like having something episodic which releases a new chapter every other month, it's kind of, I think would be a good idea. And that way it's something new. It's like there's always something to do, and it gets you to subscribe.
Yeah, they should do like a damn perk system. Not a perk thing, but like that's an extra part of the subscription. You won't even realize it. Like games will launch, and there'll be, like you said, other episodic content, but not just for old ones, new games. That's crazy. Why didn't they? Now that Game Pass is there, they could just do that. They could just launch on Game Pass.
Right.
It'd be perfect.
But I don't think Telltale will do it like directly. But I would love to see them push a studio to do a game like that, in that vein, and have it
I don't
episodic for the
understand why
service.
Telltale wouldn't want to. Like Tim Dog said, look at Sea of Thieves. Like the game sold more. You know what I mean? Just
No,
because people
I
played it.
agree. But like
Crazy.
it's only a 4-hour game, like 3 hours per chapter game. Like it's not
Yeah.
something that you're really. I could see why they don't want to like limit their sales or in that maybe you're right. Maybe it would sell better that way. I could see their hesitation in doing it, but I think it would be a good
I
a
mean,
good game to get them to do it.
day and date, I think is risky, but a game like Witcher 3, I find that game would be a
Yeah.
perfect game for it.
All right, so Thomas Foolery asked in chat, you said you wouldn't buy that dog shit, aka No Man's Sky. Look,
would not,
I'm I was weak. I won't lie. I was sitting there, and I'll be honest, I was sitting there talking to Vern, and me and him were like going back and forth about it. And it was like, man, I'm tempted to buy it because I almost bought it on PC 2 years ago, like honestly. And it's kind of a game up my alley. I like grinding, I like open world shit, I like that whole thing. I like what No Man's Sky's going for is kind of my thing. But I understand where the shitty part of the game was, and I wouldn't buy that piece of shit if it was still a piece of shit. But the next update, honestly, fixes a lot of huge issues people had with the game, and I gotta say, I'm a fan of the game. I don't think it's for everybody. I'd be the first person to tell people to be very cautious buying it, because it is a kick in the teeth when it comes to learning how to do stuff in it, because it does not explain anything, and it is very fucking complicated. It is a game made for the designer of the game, and not a game made for players. But if you're into that type of game, and you're willing to grind the fuck out of it, it'll be in your ballpark. I know I said I wasn't going to buy it, but I caved. I'm a human being. I cave. There's games that I said I wouldn't buy and I buy. I mean, No Man's Sky is one of those games.
You do that shit all the time, man. Let's go ahead and say it.
Not all the time.
Did you say it's pot?
It's pot.
Yeah.
Why not?
Pot made you do it.
Pot made me do it. I would say having a bunch of friends peer pressuring me into it, like going, but it'll be fun. We could play together. We could do this. And then I start, and I'm like, fuck it. Because, you have, like, I have a core group of people I play with, like, every night. I talk to every day, and we play games together, like, just a core group. And that group, it's Vern, it's his wife, it's a few other people, and we just play video games together. And when we play, if one of them is like, hey, I want to play this, and it's going to be multiplayer, we could play as a group, it's hard to, like, go, okay, I'm not buying that game, fuck the group. You get in the group sync, and you just end up buying stuff that you don't normally would buy. I know, like, right now, none of them are playing Warhammer. I really want to play Warhammer. I'm excited to play this game, and I think I'm going to be able to convince Will to play Warhammer 2 with me.
Yes, I will play with you.
That's the Game Pass game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I need people to actually beat the first level, the training level, so that we can actually play. Because that's all I've done, is beat the training level. I've never gone further, and I really do want to play.
Yeah, I had a problem with the first one.
Thomas Foolery is laughing at me.
That was a good one, Tom.
And you have the right to call me out. I'll give you that. But I did do it. I did buy it, and I like it. I really do. But I'm weak. I'm sorry.
All right, my exposed video on Dustin comes out tomorrow. So everybody...
Check out youtube.com/Steph.
Yeah. # receipts.
All right.
All right, so I guess the news item real quick. We'll just run down 2 more things, and then I guess we'll get to like a bigger topic. So Battlefield 1 Enhanced. Any of you guys play this week?
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, I heard you say you didn't say it was. So I didn't really. I played a little bit of it on the OGX, the Xbox One S, but it really looks great. So I mean, I don't. A lot of people say. Some people saying they can see a big difference. Others are saying not so much. So I don't know. The game is already so beautiful. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. But I was really impressed with it.
I wasn't going to argue with Steph, but I personally see a big difference. But I played a lot of the game.
Well, let me ask you guys: Did they have HDR before, or am I bugging? Like,
I think
I don't know.
It did.
Check. I didn't remember seeing that.
I think that's all it had was HDR because
Oh,
it was on
okay.
the S. Remember?
Because I don't, for some reason, I didn't remember seeing the HDR pop on when I used it before. But
Yeah,
maybe
it
I'm
just
just
wasn't
like not
very
remembering.
good. I want to say it did have HDR, yeah, for the S back before.
Oh, okay. No, guys, stuff.
No, that's all I was gonna say. I haven't played it, man. I went to play it yesterday actually because I wanted to talk about it today, and I had to fucking download the whole game again. It's like
It's a huge
90
download.
gajillion gigs, man. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, I have the same problem actually. I was downloading last night because I was like, you know what? Let me try this out. I have so many games. I had to install like 2, 3 like big games. So I was like, ah, damn, because I wanted to try it. So then I didn't download until like this morning. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then like I tried it this morning and some today. I mean, Tim, it does look good. It's just like maybe because the dynamic scaler it kind of looks different each time I play because each level is like a little different.
Yeah.
But it does look good. I think it does look. It's a big improvement of the base one. So.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing that Battlefield 5 footage, I mean, it's kind of hard to look at that shit and say, like, it's just as good. No, it don't. It's not. It don't look as good.
Battlefield 5, um,
Yeah.
that trailer, if we're gonna be honest, like Battlefield 5, it looks good, but I wasn't like it looked too much
That
too.
shit look fire. You wildin',
No,
bro.
hold
What look?
on, it looks good, but I'm saying like you were saying compared to Battlefield 1,
It's because
like
there's a woman on the
Yeah,
cover,
it's
Steph.
gonna be. It's not
it
gonna
didn't
have
look
some.
it didn't look like too out of like even many people I've talked to other friends like they were like yeah it looked good, but I think the only thing they talk about was the teaser when you see the guy.
That teaser
And
was
they're like
dog
his
shit. But I'm talking
face
about that
looked
alpha that they had after that.
like what I saw was like it looked kind of like Battlefield 1. I ain't gonna lie, like it did look visually. Like it really did. Like I mean there's some improvements like more stuff like I guess like things being blown up or particle effects rather, right? But it
Yeah.
still looked like Battlefield 1. You know, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You know, Battlefield 1 looks pretty good.
It looks a little bit better, which is saying a lot for the game that Battlefield One I
Yeah,
thought
like I
looked
was like
amazing.
Battlefield 5 like, you know, they need to worry about basically that the game, being good on the multiplayer front. That's all they need to worry about.
Now, what they also need to worry about is the menu system because it's always dog shit in that game, man.
Menu system,
And,
yeah. They
yeah,
promised us a
and the
battle
invite.
royale, but I'm not gonna really
I
now that
don't. I don't think it's
now
gonna
that
be there at launch.
now
Is
that
it?
Call of Duty kind of still hadn't shown theirs yet, and they're like holding out. I don't know. I gotta
They
wait
announced a
and see.
date for the
Yeah.
for that though, like to
Yeah,
show it.
I'm
I'm
just a little
pretty soon.
scared
I think.
scared of like from both of them. Like maybe they're both waiting to see who holds out the longest. I don't know.
No, but
Well,
like
I
I'm
mean,
not scared.
typically,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I'm not scared of like Battlefield Royale, whatever they're gonna fucking call it. They're because they're already there essentially. There's fucking 60 players on a map. All they have to do is fucking one life. Like that's all that it's
Yeah.
turning it into. Call of Duty has a lot more to fucking prove in a battle royale setting. Like honestly, it does
Mhm.
compared to Battlefield. Like Battlefield was pretty much already fucking pub. Like I'm sorry, it was already there, especially on PC when you could have larger servers. Now it's Call of Duty. It's in Call of Duty's court if they could pull it off. Uh, and they probably can. I mean, it's probably gonna be the same fucking shitty feeling shooter that it's been for years, and with just 100 people on the map, and they're all gonna die in like a fucking minute, and you're gonna probably every single
I think they
game.
announced a player count for Call of Duty. It was like 60 or something.
So it's gonna be Battlefield. It's not even pub. Okay.
That's a lot for Call of Duty, though. I mean, I
Yeah,
think the
but
biggest
like
mode they have is like 24 players, so it's
we've already been
almost three
playing a
times.
64 player version of COD. It's called Battlefield.
Not the same, bro. Come on. We gotta.
So let me get this straight. COD is not going to be narrow corridors no more. It's going to be in an open field with 64 players. Tell me how that's
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
fucking
it's
Battlefield.
gonna be pretty
No,
awesome.
no, no. Just tell me how that's not Battlefield. That
The
is
problem is
literally
that
The
Battlefield.
Battlefield,
gameplay
the
is
term for
drastically different.
Battlefield is a bad term, okay? Because the way EA, has decided like they own the Battlefield thing, that stuff needs to stop, okay? Like, because in general, like even if you got a big area, you can even say SOCOM is kind of like Battlefield. They don't, you know what I mean? Like you can't really go.
SOCOM is dead.
I know, but you can even say that what like is Battlefield. But the problem is like with Call of Duty, it's had big open areas. It has had it before, but it's usually the multiplayer is a very because it's a fast-paced game.
One's a simulator and one's more arcadey, and
So
that's the
they
big
said they're gonna
difference.
give the fast pace in the open. They said that, right? It's gonna be a bigger map, right? But they said it's gonna be fast paced still. So I'm looking forward to see what they mean by that. You know, it's the size of like
It
Fortnite
means
or
that
bigger
these
or
matches
something.
are going to last 4 minutes, and that's
That's fine. I'm fine. You know what? To be honest with you,
Okay, let's do it.
I haven't played Call of Duty in so long that this might be the way they actually get me to play it again is by putting fucking battle royale mode in it. I'm gonna be honest. And the guy that I game share with, he buys Call of Duty every single year, and I never play it. So I've had every last one of them that's came out on Xbox One. And I don't think the only one I did play was Ghost. I didn't play any of them after that. So I think I might play this one just to see it. My question is will the Battlefield one be there at launch? Because I don't think they plan on talking about it anytime soon. Whereas Call of Duty's already announced the name of it. They've released a few details and they've announced the date that they're going to show it off. Since they don't actually have like normally what they would do is they announce the campaign first, and you would get a campaign trailer at E3, and then we'd get a little multiplayer tidbit, and then we'd get the full blowout, like towards closer towards launch. Since they don't have a campaign, it's kind of reverse. They're using this blackout mode, whatever, to do that. So, I'm not sure what fucking EA is gonna do. I would like to know if it's gonna be there at launch.
Yeah, they haven't really say anything about it. It's interesting. Maybe they were saving it for closer to launch. We'll see.
Yeah, that's so corny the way they did it, and they're like, they're gonna be a royale. It's gonna be do y'all remember like an E3 where they announced that Titanfall 1 was coming to the fucking vault, and they're like, we're gonna drop a Titan on the vault.
Yeah, so
I was like,
ridiculous.
the fuck is that shit, man? It's
Yeah.
so corny, man. They need some fucking cool people over at EA helping them, man. They look
Well, as long as they have the damn villain from Mirror's Edge as the CEO, I don't think that's ever gonna
Oh
happen.
man. Yeah,
wow.
it's rough. All right, so I guess let's move on to the last kind of news item. Splinter Cell, Double Agent, Blacklist hit back and Pat. Talked about this a little bit earlier. Eric, since you're the Splinter Cell guy, what are you gonna do now? You gonna play them, or did you beat them in?
For Splinter Cell Blacklist, is
Yeah.
that's the one, right? It
Yeah.
has no major change though, which sucks.
Well, you got the typical upgrades from the X if you have an X, like the forced VSync, the uh texture filtering, and the
Okay, I guess
frame rate.
that's good, but they need to, like I said, come on, Ubisoft, you guys step it up. Has Ubisoft been? What happened to Division? They went back. You know what? They went back with Division. It's like after like months, they're like, oh, okay, guys, get up. And they flipped the switch. It was 4K. Like, come on. They
Yeah.
need to do something. Like they should launch like that.
Yeah,
You
I wish
got
it was. Yeah.
Rockstar, like, look, they're like, this is nothing. It's nothing to us. We Rockstar. Here's 4K Red Dead. Ah.
Yeah.
Does Microsoft do those enhancement, or is it actually
No, they
Rockstar
have a
doing
team that works with when the like the developers who make the game. They talked
it?
about
So
it.
so maybe they just didn't okay that.
I don't know,
They
man.
might be
I
still testing them.
I will say I played the game on PC when it first came out because at that time, uh, right before the Xbox One came out, that's when I started gaming on PC
Yeah.
because I didn't want to wait for the consoles and shit.
Yeah, me
And
and
that
me
game
and
looks
Dustin
fucking
played
great on
played.
PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Dustin played it on PC.
Oh,
We
it looks
never
so
finished
good.
it. It is a great game. Really is a great game.
I can't get over the voice though. That's kind of bothers me a little
It's
bit.
not Michael
Yeah.
Ironside, right?
It's too young
I
sounding.
can't. So we're rocking with it. I played it for about three
We need
hours,
to
and I was
get
like,
Hugo Weaving to actually play Sam Fisher, and I really think he could pull it off
"You
if
mean
he
in like a movie?"
no, as the voice actor, he would
Like a
kill it.
replacement actor.
Yeah, everybody. Remember when he replaced Megatron? He literally was the best Megatron. A lot of people don't remember that. And I think he could do the same thing if he replaced older Sam Fisher. When he gets to his like 40s, late 40s, and have a really good voice, like a new voice, but like deep and gravel type of voice for Sam Fisher. I'd love to see that if they wanted to do that. Then people wouldn't be mad. They don't like the guy's voice.
Hey Tim,
He sounds.
would you be considered them people? Mickey Worm
Uh.
says he hadn't heard your sexy voice yet, and he was just
I'm here. I'm listening to everything. Now you got my voice.
Yes.
All
Tim
right.
lifts. All right. So unless you guys wanted to add more to that.
I
Nah,
mean,
let's move on to the
sorry.
big guns, man. Let's talk about this playground shit.
Yeah. So sorry. So Playground picked up a few good men, a few good developers. Uh, I don't have the names with me, but
Just
it was
Google
just
'em.
people. Yeah, I mean, it's people from like EA Motive, people from
Bioware.
BioWare. It's a lot of good talent. So that's gonna be an awesome studio. Like when it's all said and done. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think of these developments? Like, do you guys think it'll be? Because do you guys think it'll split up into another studio and they kind of be called something else? Or
Yeah. I'll take this. Somebody
yeah.
the guy wants to hear my voice. And I'll give him a long one. At this point with this, they're going to be um, two studios. It looks like the obviously the one of the reboot of Fable is going to have all these all stars from. You have these are the guys that they have: Bioware veteran Noel Lukowicz,
Mhm.
Rocksteady's Martin Lancaster, Chris Goodall, and Rob Dendecker from Ninja Theory, Joe McKieran from Guerrilla Games, Scotty Brown from EA Motive. Now, if you remember, they had made a bunch of hires originally. Somebody from GTA, I believe, GTA
Mhm.
5.
Mhm.
So this is their um,
They're
this is
building up
going
their
to be
studios for
they're
sure.
building up their studios. Now you
Yeah.
have to realize that the one in Sony Santa Monica, that's also get hiring talent too, and they're looking to hire top talent, top tier talent. But I think um, with the this game, probably it's in development now. They're really ratcheting it up. They want a probably 2020 release, and they're doing it the right way. They're making their studio the way they want. Now, do you think they'll split off? I don't know. I mean, if they do it and it's something like Playground, I think that they'll still retain the Playground moniker, but
Mhm.
it just might be something like uh, a different kind of name because usually studios are doing one game or a large AAA for the most part, and then they actually hire contractors to help.
Yeah.
But this team is building, and it looks like they're going with top tier talent, not with just people off the street. So I think Playground is going to be their best studio. When I think Fable 4 is going to do very well. The other one, Initiative, I think that's going to take a little time.
Yeah.
But this is fun stuff. You know what I mean? This is what we all wanted. Last year at this time we were like, what's going on? Are they even going to be involved? So they're going after it, and I think that we're going to get even more. You hear more about hirings. Maybe some movement in some of the teams that they have now because they're all essentially Microsoft employees, so they can move a guy from Ninja Studio, Ninja Theory, and say, "Hey, work on this," and they could vice versa move somebody from Coalition and say, "Hey, you want to work with the new IP over at Ninja Theory." But obviously, this is what you're seeing, what we've all been wanting, and they're spending money and they're hiring a lot of big people.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I was just gonna mention that they have a lot of good studios, like so much that they can kind of transfer personnel and just be able to, help with other projects, help finish other stuff, and work on juggle a lot of things. So you don't have to have like a developer get tired of Fable and just work for like Sony the next time. So they can have just go to like I don't know Rare or something like that. So that's a good observation, Tim.
Yeah, well, like, that's one of the things that was a because listen, big corporations, they don't like to hire some, they don't like to take, they'd rather contract work out.
Mhm.
But I think Xbox learned that that's too risky of a path, and they
Yeah.
learned from their mistakes. And I think that being that when Phil got his position, he lobbied that, and he got that, and I think that he still even has there's a little left in the tank to get even more, a little more, funding. Microsoft, Windows is not the same thing as it used to be. Gaming is kind of coming up to the forefront, and if they want to spend capital in something like gaming and really flood money through it, to me you're gonna get paid big dividends back. If they really wanted to push gaming to a different level, they could. They just have to direct a lot of cash flow to it, and that means maybe have two more studios and have two
Yeah.
more AAA studios, and at that point, then you're going to be outproducing Sony on the first party front because they have, they're about right now. I think active studios, Sony's at like 10 or 11, Xbox at like 10.
Yeah.
So if they could actually have a bigger first party, staple than Sony, and if they can have that, and then you put in everything else that they do, and everything else that they have, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I
But
think their goal is to actually release more games every year. Like
yes,
Yeah.
like if you look at Sony, a lot of people don't notice this. Like Sony, they have connection with other developers more than Microsoft. Like second party deals, anybody notice that, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
But their first party, a lot of people have not noticed. They only released one major first party game this year.
right,
Like the real big one. Like you could say MLB the Show, right? But the real big one, and Detroit. But that wasn't them.
right.
They don't own that. God
Exactly.
of War, the big juggernaut was the
Mhm.
ones. So they don't really have a lot of yearly like if you look at both years, like last year there was two, this year it was one. But like Tim Dog said, if Microsoft really bolsters it, they'll have way more games coming out like every year.
Right.
That'll be pretty crazy.
And they're gonna need it for their Game Pass. Like that's what
Yeah,
the one nice thing about
Yes.
they're gonna have to be. They're gonna. I know you think they might split like Playground into two different studios, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you just don't see all the studios have two teams where like it wouldn't shock
Mhm.
me if
Well,
Turn
they mix
10
and
is
match.
working on something
Yeah.
else, like
yeah,
including the Forza franchise. Like,
Right, but my point on Microsoft was, and I kind of went off to a tangent, but
eh,
they hire when you get hired as an Xbox employee, you're not hired as an Xbox employee. You're actually hired as a Microsoft employee. So all these guys right now are Microsoft employees, and what does that mean? That means that they're going to have all the benefits that Microsoft employees have: stock dividends, stock, medical coverage.
Yeah.
A lot more costly than just hiring contractors or third party, second party deals. So it's a very good thing that that they do that for the fact that now you're all Microsoft employees. If you want to mix and match, or you want to, or some guy's not happy at Coalition and he feels like he needs a change of pace, they could say, well, the compulsion devs, they could use you, and
yeah.
all you
Exactly.
do is it's a phone call. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and Tim mentioned two things. Well, something very interesting. So, Tim, you said gonna probably maybe buy two more studios, or maybe we don't know the number, but
No,
they're kind of
I
actively looking
mean,
for more studios.
I think that they're open to it, but I think it's gonna come studio. Like, I don't think it's that. I
I
think
think
it
if the
has
right fit comes up, they'll bite.
right.
It's just they're not going to go out and just buy people to buy people. Um,
Exactly.
they're
It's the
they're
right
they're
IP.
looking. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
let's say the session game, this skateboarding game, they see a lot of potential, and right now they're cozy up with that dev right now. If they want, I think that's where it will come into it. If they know that it's a small team, and they like the IP a lot, I think that that's where you see a deal. You might see a deal there. You might see a deal with that game, The Last Night, I think it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Um, Something like that, where they see an IP and they're like, "Wow, we really can leverage this and make this a studio, and then use them to make more games." I think yes, it's they're open to doing. Now, do I think that they're actively looking, knocking on doors? No, but in a case like this, you get people know that they're spending money. You see like Remedy come out and say, "Oh well, they can make Quantum Break too if they want. They can make Alan Wake too," which they could. And you know what? That's cool that Remedy did that, but that just shows you that they see the money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're looking for potential future work, and I mean, I personally would make another Quantum Break, but I can understand why they wouldn't go that route, or the Alan Wake. But I think that they're looking for new, fresh IPs, new teams that have really creative people, or have something unique about them, and I think that they're going to hire them and make another studio. So I could see two more studios at max, but I also could see them just keep stockpiling the hires. Like they're going to be hiring. They're hiring people for Rare right now. Rare is going to be
Yeah.
working on another project. I'm sure.
But I mean,
after Sea
people.
of Thieves.
I really do have to credit this to Phil Spencer. I really think he's the push on this. I mean, it really feels like he went into Satya Nadella's office and Satya was just like, "I got one word for you: win." And that's it. Like, just win. Be the best. Make your
Yeah.
studio the best. Like, you need to win gaming. Microsoft is not second tier. Win. And that's why you see fucking, 5 studios. You see fucking new hires. You're going to see multiple teams. Like,
Big
this
talent
is.
too. That's
Yeah,
not the
it's.
that's big talent that's hired.
He's looking through and he's say, what do I want to produce? And it's high quality AAA games for everybody. And that means we're getting Game Pass. It means, like, he's doing. This is what we've always, like, I can't think of anybody that looks at Microsoft's vision at gaming and goes, I don't want to go down that path. Like, who doesn't want Game Pass? Who actively talks against Game Pass? Because if you do, you're just an asshole. Like, honestly. If
Yeah.
you talk bad, don't get me wrong, we could all discuss if they should get rid of Xbox, the gold fee. I think they should at this point. I mean, I think their goal, honestly, is to build up Game Pass enough where they can offset the money and just say, yeah, let's get rid of gold. Let's get more people in this
No.
ecosystem.
It's not happening, buddy.
No, but I mean, not for a few years. I mean, you have to build up Game Pass a lot to get to the point where you
Never
can
gonna
kill
happen.
gold. It's possible. Just because they'll bring Windows closer to Xbox and vice versa, and eventually you might see it. Not this generation for sure, but maybe next. But yeah, I look at it as, the shackles have come off for Phil, and we're seeing the results of that. Like, this is, he's, when something bad happens with Xbox, we get to blame Phil. He's the head.
Mhm.
And when it goes good with Xbox, we get to praise Phil. And right now, I mean, I really don't have anything bad to say. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree
this year's a little
completely.
dry, but I mean, other than that, like, I really don't have anything bad to say. Like, let's fucking keep at it. Like, I'm excited for Xbox. And I was, like, losing interest in video games a little bit. Like, just kind of like not caring, just watching more anime, just like kind of whatever. But
Yeah.
they're making moves, and I know this is the biggest fanboy thing to say, but Xbox is my team. Like, I'm down. Like, this is y'all were letting us down, and now you're fucking killing it. So
Yeah.
I'm
nothing wrong with
excited
that.
to see the future.
Uh, the way I see these huge transitions going to this one studio, I like to see some of that in some of the studios that they already have too. I mean, would you like to see that anywhere else besides Playground? I mean, they are not their only studio, Like,
Well,
I
no,
like to
like
see
I
Like,
that.
said,
yeah.
I think
Like
you're going to see Turn
Mojang.
10 is going to. I mean, they're a massive studio. I think they're like, what, 400 or 500 people in Turn 10? Like, the idea that
Yeah.
they're not making a second game that's not Forza would be crazy. Like, why not? Like, and especially if like Phil said, the studios are able to do what they want. So why wouldn't Turn 10, like, hey, we've made 7 amazing Forza games. Let's let's move on to something a little bit different. And then we could do Forza 8 later. And
Yeah, you're seeing some of that right now with 7. It's like you see them kind of just concentrating on the game without having to rust the next one out, which is I think is absolutely the right idea because 7 was good. It's a really good Forza game, but I feel like it still needs more work, like more tracks, maybe fix up Maple Valley because that's kind of a little bit weird looking with the trees and stuff. So just update the game a lot more until you get it just right, and then kind of move on. Don't just kind of rush to the next development cycle because that's just gonna kind of hurt the name after a while. He's just gonna like lose interest because it starts feeling kind of the same. But yeah, that's definitely a good way to do it. Just kind of diversify the studios a little bit more. I actually think even Mojang would benefit because they're just doing Minecraft. So I like to see them maybe tackle more stuff.
Sir, out of all the studios, Mojang is going to produce Minecraft. They're going to produce it well. I don't think there's a bigger cash cow in all of gaming than fucking Minecraft.
Yeah, but you see all those like pixel, like kind of similar Minecraft games.
Hey, just throw it out there. I'm still waiting, Mojang. I want my goddamn HD texture pack.
Oh yeah, man, that's crazy. It still doesn't come out.
You finish that, and then you can work on your second game.
So this opens up an interesting question. So Tim said they might not be actively looking, but like, okay, so I put out these couple studios. Which do you guys think will be like kind of the most realistic? So I got Playful, the people from Super Lucky's Tale. We got Iron Galaxy from Killer Instinct. Ruffian, who helped out. Well, they developed Crackdown 2, and they're helping with the current Crackdown. Armature from what do you call it? Recore. And 2 RPG studios, Larian from Divinity Original Sin 2 and Obsidian. So what do you guys think are like the most realistic of these?
Iron Galaxy, because this shit just would be funny.
Yeah. Iron Galaxy is probably the most realistic. The one I want the most is Obsidian.
Yeah.
No, because what's his name from PlayStation is at Iron Galaxy, so it'd be funny to see him on the Xbox stage.
You talking about Attaboys?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was oh yeah, that's true. Where was he at before the did he go somewhere else in between the PlayStation and Iron Galaxy?
He just went straight from PlayStation to
yeah. You know what's funny is now that No Man's Sky Next is out, he's probably like, fuck, this is the game that got me fired, you bastards. You should have fixed this shit at launch. I'd still be working at PlayStation, you fuckers.
Yeah, Iron Galaxy is a pretty good pick because I think they don't want to repeat the same mistake with Double Helix where they kind of just had them bought out by Amazon. Yeah. And Iron Galaxy does make more, things than just Killer Instinct. They just put out Extinction. It was kind of a dud, but you can still see that studio just needs more money. It just needs more like budget and manpower. So that would be a great buy.
Yeah, especially they get a Ninja Theory deal where it's just like, look, we're going to give you the budget, you got the team, make something awesome. Like that's the guiding principle. I think Iron Galaxy has shown that they can make something great. And it doesn't have to be a fighting game. Like you said, they make a bunch of different types of games. So they have a nice crew over there to actually, you could throw any idea at them and they'll produce something that's well made. It's just about getting that funding. And if Microsoft's just in the market for good developers that just need money, I like Iron Galaxy games. I like Obsidian games. I mean,
yeah, Obsidian's a good one.
Thomas Fullery said Insomniac is a free agent. True, I just don't think they would sell out to anybody.
They've said that. They've said that. Their main their I think they said their biggest mistake was not having ownership over their IP, and they won't ever make that mistake again because they've created a lot of games. What's the game that they made?
They don't own Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So what?
They don't own Spider-Man.
They don't own Spider-Man, but I mean, how do you say no to that though? I mean, that's like the biggest Marvel. That's like the biggest Marvel IP there is. It sells more merchandise than anything. I mean, that's going to be there's no way they can fail there.
Yeah, but I mean the problem is they've had little success with their own IP besides maybe Song of the Deep.
Sunset that was successful, but Ratchet and Clank was the most successful game they ever made.
Yeah, but it's still Sony owned. So I mean, the only thing they have is Fuse.
No, that's what he's saying. They don't actually for their own IPs. They have not had success overall.
Which is it's kind of weird to me. It's like, why would you just like want to remain independent and not continue to work on your original IPs. I
Will
mean, I
is
know they
woke
failed,
right now. He's preaching.
Oh no, because I
Like,
think they'd be a good pickup for
wow.
Sony or Microsoft, like either team.
Insomniac had no choice though, didn't they, Justin? Remember, what did they get off of? The VR stuff.
Yeah.
It ain't go well. It's the
Yeah,
same
Yeah.
thing like Crytek. It didn't
yeah,
work out, so we're gonna go to Sony again. You know?
yeah.
That's what
They
Yeah.
seem like they needed the projects to help pay the bills after those kind of failures, which it sucks. But
Yeah.
you still, I still want to see them pursue their original
Well,
content.
the last two games, I think before the VR, actually did pretty well. Like Song of the Deep did well, and
Yeah.
the Ratchet and Clank that game did really
Mhm.
well. So I think they're sitting pretty good. I mean, they
I
can
don't know
release a
about
shitty
that.
VR game.
I don't know. They could say whatever they say. Their reactions, everything. They were making this big thing like we independent. You know, we're
Mhm.
gonna release games all over. Oh, we
Yeah,
going
but
back
I
to
mean,
Sony. It's what it looks like. You know, it looked like they.
they had a PlayStation game right before that. I mean, it doesn't surprise
No,
me.
I'm just yeah, but it does seem a little weird. It's hard not to
I mean,
notice.
they're gonna
Like
put another game out on Xbox.
we'll see. I
Don't
don't know
think
about that.
that
I don't know
they
about
will.
that.
They will. Maybe it's another Song of the Deep. You know,
Oh
it may
god,
not be as
that's
fucking
not. Oh
Sunset
man.
Overdrive
Yeah, I mean,
2 or whatever. But
yeah, the biggest question is what's going to be after Spider-Man because I
Spider
mean,
Man
even
2.
though, yeah, but they like to do like I don't know. It seems like kind of the same thing over again. Just kind of it might burn out on Spider-Man. They'd be like, let's try something else, or maybe they'll
Yeah,
split into two
but remember
teams.
they was on Twitter talking about Sunset Overdrive 2, and then it like transformed. Like they're like,
Yeah,
we're looking for a publisher.
yeah. Who knows, man?
Like that was
Maybe they
crazy.
actually, maybe they find a publisher for. But I don't know if Microsoft still has the rights of refusal of
Microsoft
that
ain't
one.
gonna green like that. Feels
So
like
yeah,
Sony.
that's a tricky one.
It is.
So what do you guys think about Sorry to jump, but what about Ruffian? I mean, I know that's kind of a controversial one because they're not like that's
Nah,
well known.
I don't think that they'll. I
Yeah,
think that they kind of even crack down.
Tim,
The
you're breaking up a
crackdown.
little bit. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. You hear me now?
yeah, you
Yes.
good.
No, they kind of fell off with the Crackdown 3, so I don't see them. But
They're making. You know what they're making, Tim Dog? I just
wow,
looked. They're making a game called Fragmental, and
Yeah,
they changed quite a lot
that was
from
a cool game.
yeah from
yeah.
what they're going with.
Thomas
But
Fuller says Black Panther on Xbox.
Black
Insomniac
Panther.
made.
oh,
Eric, don't tell me you wouldn't buy that game. I know you would.
I don't know.
You
Well,
would.
when you think about it, I can't think of a better developer to be a custodian for the Crackdown franchise. I mean, I guess it depends on how well it depends on how well this one does. But I mean, if you want to do another Crackdown and if this one does well, then you kind of want to go Ruffian because you don't know if this developer is coming back, Sumo Digital.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like Ruffian has like they seem they have a lot of projects that kind of didn't work out. It seemed like they just needed more funding or more manpower. It seems like kind of fall along the lines of what Matt Booty had put the little description of what type of studios they like to work with. But I mean, I see what Tim's saying. Like as far as just like they're kind of I don't want to say also ran, but they're kind of a tricky studio like to kind of fully integrate if they wanted to buy them or whatever.
Yeah. I guess the initiative is they're gonna make Crackdown 4. That's what they're gonna do.
You know, they might be able to juggle that.
We would be so mad if they
That'd
came
be-
out their fucking game was Crackdown 4.
That's not what it's going to be. It's going to be Battletoads. The initiative announces Battletoads.
Nah, bro. You know what? Honestly, I fucking forgot all about that game. That's actually a game coming out next year. I forgot all about it until you just said that.
A lot of people did. It was very low key, you know.
I mean,
They
it was
show
just
no
text on a
gameplay. I don't see
screen.
how you don't show gameplay of a game like that.
It's too early for that game. I think it's gonna be pushed back.
It's just, I mean, they could have showed some art. Like, I don't understand why they didn't show
Yeah,
art.
you could have showed a fucking frog.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we'll see.
I do think it's coming out. I don't think they're spending too much money on that Battletoads game. But I think they look at it as a Game Pass game, just something to have for a month and launch it.
I hope they don't use this. I mean,
Phil
as
was
much
rubbing
as
his
I
hands
love
together, and he was like, he threw like a couple thousand to Battletoads. Like that's it. That's good.
Motherfucker,
Make
a
shut up
couple
now.
thousand.
Maybe a couple 100,000. You know, threw it that way.
That ain't shit, man. Anyway, what I was about to say before you said that was, I hope that I keep hearing people say in every sentence when they talk about a game, they bring up Game Pass, which I love and I use and I subscribe to. I hope they don't use that as too much of a crutch. And what I mean by that exactly is people saying stuff like, they're making all. They need to make all these games because they need to do it for Game Pass. They should just be making these fucking games anyway.
No,
It
no,
should
but
just
here's the
be there.
thing: the Game Pass is going to be, hey, it's a risk to make a fucking Battletoads game.
Yeah, I get that.
Because
Yeah, I get that
it's
part.
fucking
Could just be
Battletoads, and
good,
nobody
though.
fucking, except for probably the people in this fucking chat, have any fucking clue
Yeah.
what Battletoads
true.
is. And there's a very small vocal community that has been screaming about fucking Battletoads for
That's
years.
weirdos.
Well,
That's
And-
Microsoft's
weirdos,
been
man.
advertising for so long, it might as well deliver, you know?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
at this point, like Game Pass goes, you know what? If we get like a few 100,000 people to play it, it'll have made its
It
money.
might, you know what? It might be. We don't even know, but it may. What if it turns out because it's Battletoads, right? It could turn out pretty good, and then they might want to build off of it, like the Mega Man game.
Yeah,
Look,
that'd be
look
cool.
at Mega Man. Mega Man had a reboot, right?
Mhm.
So maybe they might be trying to do the same thing. That's pretty big deal, actually.
Yeah, a Perfect Dark is apparently also another very big possibility. We don't know who's making it. It's either a coalition with another studio or
This could be their
maybe
damn
initiative,
Donkey
but
Kong.
Donkey Kong.
It could be Microsoft's Donkey Kong.
Ah,
Oh,
come
okay.
on. It's not.
Talking
It's,
about
we all-
Battletoads.
You never know.
Okay.
Look, this is what's going to happen, and we're going to end the show on this. Microsoft and Nintendo are coming together to make a GoldenEye remake, and it's going to be crossplay.
I already did that shit.
It's going to be crossplay between the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Live. Just wait.
That'll be fantastic.
Nah.
Don't play with my emotions, thus.
Man,
It's
I'd be
happening.
down with that.
Because
How
right
many
now the
times they gonna
reason
fucking
the reason
remake
neither
the game, man?
either company hasn't done it is because they both own certain rights to it, and it's just one of those weird relationships where it's like, yeah, it's just not happening. Because
So it's not-
Microsoft owns some things and then Nintendo owns the other things. It's just like, yeah, we're never getting the legal work is just too weird for GoldenEye to really
So
get
has-
any real
So
sequel.
it's nothing to do with the Bond license at all, or like the Bond license, like
I
the
thi-
Bond license.
It has to do with that and the license for the game itself, like how
Yeah.
it all worked out since Microsoft bought Rare. Because Rare still owns some of that license, but Nintendo owns other, like I believe, like the trademarks and stuff. It's weird, but it's
Yeah.
just one of those situations you'll just never probably ever see them come together to work on it unless Microsoft and Nintendo merged. That'd
Yeah,
be
it's very-
pretty much the only way you're going to see a GoldenEye sequel.
Yeah, it's very entangled in that way.
Yeah, don't y'all remember the original Wii remake of that game that was dog shit?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It was.
Is that the Daniel
bullshit.
Craig one?
I get no. They remade the original game on Wii.
Hmm.
Pretty sure it
Recall.
was regular Wii.
I recall, but I could have sworn it was like a Daniel Craig. But
No,
with
they
the same
that was
levels.
a game too that was on 360.
Yeah.
They were still making the Bond games at the time.
Yeah.
I remember I got a T-shirt. I got a T-shirt with that shit, and I bought the game. Came with the fucking T-shirt. The multiplayer was kind of high. It was kind of like Call of Duty mixed with Rainbow Six. But yeah, it's alright.
All right. Well, I think that's going to end the show for this week, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Please write us in at letters@xboxuncut.com. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you all joining. I know we should have another full crew, so it'll be fun. Right now, just to clear up some misinformation, Jason's not on the show, and he probably won't be on the show for a little while. He's working like 5 in the morning to 2 p.m., so trying to do a show till like 11 at night, 10, 11 at night is just not doable at all.
Yeah.
But he'll be back on the show once his shift changes again. But it's probably going to be a while.
Props
have-
to the Ford.
More than likely on August 22nd, it's the Wednesday like later into August. Steph is going to be hosting the show because my
Yeah.
brother is actually having surgery and probably not going to be on the podcast. So,
He's having surgery? What the?
I'll get into the details after the show. But
My
until
God.
then, guys, we'd love that y'all tuned in, and we will talk to you next week.
Oh,
Peace
Tom
out.
has
Goodbye.
two things here.
Oh,
if you want to,
yeah.
yeah, just to end it. He says Microsoft should get the devs of the Metro series, and hey Tim, please suggest to your pals at Xbox to make Killer Instinct a Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, I think I think they already know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I think that Ed Boon would be a great thing for Xbox, and I think it would be a great idea in general.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, guys. we'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Have a good week.
Peace.
Take care.
Yeah.